This lesson is on irony. And so the goal for this lesson is that you should be able to identify and then analyze the three different types of irony. So it's important to know that irony can be found in three different ways. There is verbal irony, situational irony, and dramatic irony. First, verbal. So verbal irony is when someone says the opposite of what they really think or feel. So this is like sarcasm. So the example here is, my parents are going to love this, she said after getting an F on the test. She doesn't really mean her parents are going to love it. She's being ironic. So that's verbal irony, when someone says the opposite of what they really think or feel. And then situational irony is the irony of something happening that is different to what was expected. So some examples: a firefighter's house burns down. Firefighters put out fires that, on houses and buildings. And so for a firefighter's house to burn down, it's pretty ironic because the firefighter usually puts out fire. A hunter gets eaten by a bear. Typically, hunters hunt animals and they get the animal. In this case, it's been flipped around. The animal got the hunter. So this is situational irony. Or like a butcher turns out to be vegan. People who are vegan don't eat meat or animal products. And so a butcher is somebody who butchers meat. So it's ironic that he turns out, or they turn out to be vegan. So that's situational irony, when something happens or information is brought up that is different to what was really expected. Not to be confused sometimes with dramatic irony, which is when the audience knows something the characters do not. This is really specific to literature. Not just literature, dramatic irony is also in a lot of movie and TV shows as well. So this example actually comes from your freshman year. The audience knows Juliet is faking her death, but Romeo does not. Then he kills himself just before she wakes up. This is dramatic irony. The audience knew that Juliet was faking her death, but the character, Romeo, did not. And so then he acts before he knows the truth, and then she wakes up, and this whole moment is an example of dramatic irony, when the audience knows something that a character, or maybe even multiple characters, don't know. And so think about other stories you've read, shows, movies you've watched, and see if you can spot any examples of irony when you watch them. It is way more common than you think. It is a super common tool used, especially in storytelling. So not just books and short stories and poems, but also TV and movies as well. So hopefully, by the end of this, you should be able to identify and analyze these three different types of irony. If you need to go back and rewatch, definitely do that to kind of refresh and review your memory. But other than that, this should be it for irony. Good luck.